No, rest is okay. Rest is needed almost. It's more than okay. Like, it's needed. Like, they're also seeing your life. And I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's like, if they're not benefiting you a lot of the time, like, you don't need people to just be there creeping on your life, creeping on what you're doing. Take the little bit of time to take time for yourself.
Welcome to the Alyssa and Julian Podcast.
I'm Alyssa, and this is the Alyssa and Julian Podcast. It's always so weird to do this solo, like to say just the Alyssa intro and the Alyssa and Julian Podcast, but this is another solo episode. This was actually, it's weird to say. I feel like re-recording is really weird for a podcast, but I had technical difficulties last week. I was trying to do this alone with Julian not being home and messed something up. And when I went to go edit this podcast, my audio was awful. It was awful. I couldn't use it. All right, brief intermission already because I forgot to turn on the big light. And when I was recording this, I would like stare into Julian's laptop and I was wondering why it was so dark. So if you're watching, all fixed. It's a little better. But as I was saying, my audio was awful. I couldn't use it, but I really liked the thought behind this episode. And as also weird, but like we'll be very transparent here, I was kind of iffy on last week's episode just because of the way I like recorded it and explained some things. I wasn't really like 100% vibing with it. So I'm hoping I do better on this episode. But before we get into it, intentions of the week. So this week, I have like all new intentions. I don't even really remember what I said in the podcast I recorded last week. So I guess it's good. We're starting fresh brain, fresh everything. So this week I do have, I was going to say, I do have a video I recorded. I haven't ended that video though. I probably should end that before I start editing it. But anyways, sorry, sidetracked. I recorded a vlog yesterday actually from when I'm recording this. So when you're hearing this 2 days ago, because we're back on, my typical Sunday night recording, having to edit and schedule it for you guys all in like a few hours. And normally Mondays I'm off from work, but tomorrow I'm actually working. So like I actually have to have this done and like edited, scheduled and all this stuff so that we have an episode for you. It's always like, it always seems like a lot, but then once I get into like recording and editing, like I love it so much. So like it's not that bad, but just the thought process behind it seemed like a lot. So intention, get that video up soon. I haven't uploaded on my channel in like almost 2 weeks. So I have to get that up for you guys. Other than that, I think I'm going to say this every week until I actually do it. I have to plan better. I have to plan my weeks better. Lately have been like such crazy weeks, but I have to get on some other type of system because whatever I'm doing now is clearly not working for me because this Sunday record, edit, upload, like it ain't the vibe. I'm not feeling it. So I have to get better. But yeah, streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, anywhere you stream your podcasts, we're Alyssa and Julian Podcast on YouTube if you want to watch. If you're watching, hello. If you're listening, thank you for listening. Yeah. So with that being said, into today's topic. So I think I have mentioned this in podcasts before, but I do what I call podcast research, which is basically go through the people I listen to podcast wise, or I try to find just different podcasts. I use Spotify a lot for music and my podcast. So I'll go on there and see like kind of, I don't really think they have like a trending thing, but they have like a little, I don't know, thing on the top that says like audiobooks or podcast audiobooks. I don't know, something. So I'll click on there, see what's going through there. I'll search, people I know that have a podcast, but like I don't really like, I'll listen to a couple episodes, but you have like the ones where like you listen to almost like religiously, and then some where if it comes up and it kind of sounds like a good topic, you're like, ooh, this could be for my car ride tomorrow. I'll go through anything I find and try to see what people have been talking about, what seems like a cool episode, but I also have to look into what I think I can talk about for a while by myself. Like these solo episodes, I have to try to make sure it's kind of long enough. I feel like you don't really need a time frame on a podcast, but I do like to make our podcast anywhere between like 45 minutes to an hour, just to kind of give you guys like a good time. You feel me? But I feel like I would have to come up with like a really good topic for me to talk for 45 minutes. So I don't know. I don't know if you'll want to listen to that for that long, but today's I found people will have done like a blank things I've learned by blank, like age-wise, like age, insert age here. Things I've learned by the age of, insert age here again. So today's topic, if you didn't know, I'm Alyssa. I'm 26 years old. So today we're going to be doing 26 things I've learned by the age of 26. This was actually harder than I thought it was going to be. I liked the idea of having like blank by the age of blank as like a title vibe, but I almost just had to do like blank amount of things I've learned in my life so far. I don't know, something along those lines, because I swear I got like halfway there. I'm not even kidding. I got to number like 12 or 13, which is literally half of what I needed. And I had to like sit there and think. Like I had to sit there and think of things that I've learned in my life. And let me tell you, going through this list, you'll notice some things are like, yes, like some of you are going to listen to me say something and be like, yes, like agreed. I feel you like 100%. And I'm going to also say other things and you're going to be like, wait, what? Like, Alyssa, what? And I'm telling you, all of them, whether you question it or not, I think there's some pretty good things. So without further ado, let's get into this list. Number one should always be number one. Rest is okay. I don't think people emphasize it enough. A lot of people take rest as almost like a being lazy or you just don't want to do this. No, like your body literally needs the rest for you to go through day-to-day life. Honestly, I know a lot of people are a type of person where like you just need to be on the move all the time. You need to be going, be doing something. But like the moment they feel like they're not doing anything, it's like not productive. This one piece of hair is driving me nuts. Okay, I'm sorry. People think that if they stop for 2 seconds, then they're not being productive or they're not, I don't know, just not being productive, I guess. No, rest is okay. Rest is needed almost. It's more than okay. Like it's needed. Whether you think it or not, rest is needed. Take your rest. Number 2, learn to say no. This is probably something I have to kind of learn still myself. I feel like with certain things saying no, I get like almost like a guilty conscience or just feel like super guilty, like, oh, I shouldn't have said no, or why did I say no, blah, blah, blah. It is okay to say no. And to further that, it is okay to say no without an explanation. A lot of people feel the need that when they have to say no, or when they say no, they need to give an explanation to back up like almost their reasoning. Like you don't need a reasoning behind a no, like an answer. No is an answer within itself. You learn how to say no. Number 3, get rid of toxic friends. I feel like that within itself is, I don't know, like just if they're not benefiting you, or more importantly, if they are not benefiting your mental health, they got to go. Like it's really just not needed. They're not needed in your life. They're not needed for you. You will find other friends literally everywhere else in your life. You don't need them. They don't need to be with you. They gotta be kicked out. Number 4, only let who's good for you see what you're doing in life. What I mean by this is, you know, when you ever go through like a social media splurge almost, when you're in school and you follow everyone you go to school with, everyone you're friends with, everyone you've kind of known throughout your life, and you get to that one point and all of a sudden you go through like a little, I don't know what comes over you, but you're just like, let me do a little detox moment. And you start to like unfollow a lot of people just because, like, I don't know, you get to the point and you're like, why am I still following them? What is the purpose? And you just unfollow, like you do like an unfollow spree. I feel like that is actually necessary, because a lot of the people that you are just kind of following because you went to school with them and you like know of them, you don't really know them. You're kind of just seeing basically each other's life. Like you're seeing theirs, but they're also seeing your life. Like they're also seeing your life. And I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's like, if they're not benefiting you a lot of the time, like you don't need people to just be there creeping on your life, creeping on what you're doing for no reason. Like, I don't know, I've had these moments where like I've gone and like unfollowed or even like blocked people because I'm like, I don't really want you seeing what I'm doing in life. Like, I don't want you to see where I'm at, because a lot of people will base opinions on what you're doing in life as kind of a, you did this wrong, or you're not where you should be, or you kind of also compare yourself to a lot of people about where they are and what they're doing in life compared to what you're doing. And I feel like that just puts you down like such a bad rabbit hole. I don't know. You just start to think of where you went wrong and how are they doing this, and you should be like, you want to be doing that, and why can't you be at that point? You don't need it. So unfollow them. Blocking them, honestly, it's okay. It's okay. Just, I don't know, the people that you think are within everything I just explained, it is okay for them to not, it's not even being in your life, because they might not be necessarily in your life, but they're looking at your life. They're seeing what you're doing. And I don't know, that might just be like a personal thing, but I feel like some people, it's not necessary. Number 5, this kind of goes along with number 1. Take a break. Taking a break is kind of like rest, but some people force themselves to keep it going with life, keep it going. Oh, I need to. So we'll put in like a YouTube perspective right now, where they're like, oh, I need to do this. I need to get this video up. I need to record this video, so I have this video this week, and kind of straining themselves. You, like I did last week, I could have possibly, I don't think it was even an option. I probably could have looked into that podcast and fix the audio, see what I could do to make it work, to make it have good audio, whether I used a mic from the camera or I don't know, something else. But honestly, it was kind of at the point where, like I said, the last couple of weeks have been kind of crazy. So I took the break. I don't know if it was like much needed. I really wanted to post this episode because, like I said, I thought the idea of it was really fun, but I didn't look into it, honestly. I took it as a sign to take a break, to let it go a week with episodes. I feel like it hasn't been like this lately. There's been a lot of solo, but I've been trying to at least post a solo rather than not uploading at all, if that makes sense. So I don't know. Breaks are just same thing with rest. They're just needed sometimes. Little things come as such a sign to just let it happen. At that point, it might be your body telling you that your body itself needs a break, so you're kind of forced to give it what it's needed, what it's asking for. Just take it. Take the sign and take a break for yourself, for your brain, for your mind, for your energy. Number 6. This is definitely something I am still working at. Step out of your comfort zone at least once. When I tell you, my comfort zone is like the size of a peanut. I'm so like, I'm not the one that's going to step out of her comfort zone like for funsies. No, if I think I have to step out of my comfort zone or I'm going to step the slightest little itty bitty bit out of my comfort zone, I probably am freaking out on the inside. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with stepping outside of my comfort zone. Julian tells me that all the time. I feel like stepping out of your comfort zone it's doing a lot for you. I know it's obviously uncomfortable. That's why there is a comfort zone. But being able to step out of it is stretching yourself past the limits that you have for yourself. And I feel like it teaches you a lot. I don't know. I definitely want to do it. And I know certain times, like I'll tell myself and I'm like, yeah, I could do this, or yeah, I'll do that. No, I won't not do that, blah, blah, blah. And then the time comes and I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking, but am I doing that? No. Am I going to go there? No. Definitely something I still have to not teach myself. Something I have to talk to myself about and be like, you got this. Like, what's so bad about doing this? What's so bad about not being comfortable while doing XYZ? I don't know. But I kind of have to like hype myself up a little to get myself to do certain things. And not the easiest thing, but eventually we're going to get there where nothing is really outside of my comfort zone. And we're going to love that moment when it comes. Number 7. Really? We're at number 7 already? Number 7, take time for yourself. This is also very important because I feel like a lot of people are, I don't know, me kind of being one of them. I'm not a big person of doing things by myself. And it's another thing where I have to kind of push myself to do things by myself, if that makes sense. I feel I used to get my nails done almost on like a bi-weekly basis when I had acrylics on. I hated talking on the phone is definitely something that's out of my comfort zone. I don't like talking on the phone. I'd rather text or like something. I don't know. It makes me nervous. I don't like talking on the phone. It's one of the things I've always hated. So I always hated calling the nail salon to make the appointment and then never mind going to the appointment. It was always the most like frantic thing in my mind because of the fact mostly that I was going by myself. I don't know what it is. Going places by myself makes me so nervous, so uncomfortable. I'm never like a alone person. I don't understand. Some people like travel alone. They'll like be doing errands all day by themselves. Like I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan. Like I don't know. I don't like doing it. So I've noticed that taking the time for yourself to go and get your nails done, to go and get your hair done, to like take a walk by yourself, to I don't know, I would love to be able to go and eat alone somewhere. I don't think I'll ever be able to actually like do it. That is definitely one thing that scares me so much. But going for a nice lunch by yourself, like just having that little time to yourself to, I don't know, think things through, like do a little bit of work, just have the time to like enjoy life by yourself. I strongly encourage to take the little bit of time out of your day, even if it's just for like half an hour, for 10 minutes. I don't know. Take the little bit of time to take time for yourself. Number 8, listen to how people talk to you and then about you. I don't know if that makes sense. I kind of like had this thought in my head for like the next thing on this list, but I didn't know how to word it. You know, when you have like a lot of people, this has definitely happened to, I'm going to say like almost everyone. It's probably like the worst thing in the world. It's not like it's the best thing to happen to you, but you have a lot of people who's in your friend group who you work with. I don't know. They are talking to you and you think they're the greatest people in the world. You really are connecting. You're friends with them. You think you're really close. And then all of a sudden you hear something either behind your back or you hear them say something to someone else. Like they don't think you're listening or they don't think you're there. And you kind of see like the real side of them. A lot of people like to brush it off and like say, oh, maybe they're just like in a mood or they're having a bad day. Like they're just kind of letting things out. Like you have to realize that even though this is the first time you might be hearing something like this happen, it might not be the last. And you have to keep that in your mind, because if it happens again or it keeps happening, you can't just keep brushing it off, putting it on the back burner. Like that's when you have to realize and go back to, let's see what number it was. 3, get rid of toxic friends. Like if this is like a trend that keeps happening, if it's a friend, you have to let them go. Like they gotta go. They're clearly not good for you. They, I don't know, are maybe pretending to be your friend. I don't know, but you have to listen and take it for yourself, because I don't know, it might get you down. You might be like really overthinking it, get a little sad, and like just keep going back to them just because you want to feel like you have friends and you have someone to go to and all this stuff. Honestly, like I said, you'll find friends everywhere in life, literally everywhere. The people you're friends with in high school might not be your friends when you go through college. Like you'll find college friends. You'll find friends especially if you go out of state, you'll find friends in that state. Like you'll have friends everywhere and anywhere. Just remember to keep it in mind, the different times that they're like talking to you and what you hear when you're not around them. Number 9. This was kind of a weird thing for me. But I feel like it should be mentioned, and I've definitely kind of learned this throughout life. It's wear whatever you feel comfortable in. I feel like a lot of people end up not going with an outfit or like a shirt or I don't know, something that they like, because I don't know, they feel like people are going to judge them for wearing it, or they shouldn't be wearing it. A lot of people are like body shame type people, and they're going to say, oh, she shouldn't be wearing that, or oh, maybe she should get this and blah, blah, blah. If you feel comfortable in it, go ahead and rock it. Go out and wear it. Like, go have a great time in whatever outfit you're wearing. I feel like you can't really let the thought of people judging your outfit or judging whatever you're wearing, let it ruin the outfit for you. I don't know. I feel like everyone's had this situation. I've definitely had this situation, like definitely in going to like the beach, like when you're in that bathing suit and you're like, oh, do I really feel comfortable in this? Do I want to go out in this? Like, am I like not the type for this? Should I not be? It all goes through your head. No matter what you put on that dress, you put on that top, you put on, I don't know, a whole outfit, and you end up changing the outfit because you're like, oh no, I can't go out in that. I love this, but I can't wear it. No, stop it. Stop that. You feel comfortable. You love it. You go party in it. Do your thing. Wear whatever you feel comfortable in. Number 10 is such a basic, but honestly, I feel like it kind of needs to be still talked about. And it's follow your dream. Follow your dreams. Whatever you wanted to do in life, do not let people tell you that it's not possible. It's not feasible. You should let that go and do like something, I don't know, legit. Especially if it's like a job. A lot of people get at people for not having like a actual job, or like just because it's not a 9 to 5. I know from watching YouTube for so long that a lot of people wouldn't consider people who are trying to really pursue YouTube as like an actual dream, an actual job, just because you're just sitting in front of a camera, like talking and making a video. Like, okay, like what is that doing for you? Like it actually does a lot, and people get paid like really well. So it ends up being their dream job. And for them to actually have been able to pursue and follow that is amazing. If you have the most like, I don't know, people are going to think it's the weirdest thing you ever got into when you were little, and you like really pursued it and you really started to love it and you wanted to turn it into something or find something along those lines that makes you go into a career with whatever your hobby was. Follow your dream. If you want to do it, do it. Don't let people try to talk you out of it almost, because I don't know. I feel like a lot of, I don't know, it's so weird to explain. Like a lot of people want standard things, like what they think should be, I don't even know, a job or a career or a hobby. They stick to what they know or what they grew up on, not experiencing everything else outside of that. Follow your dream. Do what you want to do. Number 11, let your thoughts out. Let your thoughts out. Whether you are journaling, writing it on a random piece of paper that you're going to rip up 10 seconds after you write it just to get it out, whether it's a friend that you really trust, family you really trust, a therapist, I don't know, anyone, let your thoughts out. I can tell you, you do not want to get them bottled, because they will come out at the wrong time. And I feel it can create a much worse situation because of the fact that you had it bottled up for so long, and then all of a sudden something sparked in you that you had to let it out, and you're either gonna say something wrong, you're gonna do something wrong. The way you say something, someone's gonna take such a wrong way. You have to let your thoughts out prior, because when you get to certain situations, you won't be as upset because of the fact that you already talked it out. You already wrote it all down and let it out. Like, you let your anger out on the piece of paper instead of an actual person, which I can tell you is 10 times better. I'd rather like break or destroy my pen writing it on a piece of paper, rip up that piece of paper 20,000 times, than end up in a fight just because I said something the wrong way, because I couldn't express how I felt in that moment because I was so upset. You ever get to those moments where you're so upset about something, you don't even know what to say? I also have those moments where I don't know what to say, so I end up just crying. I can tell you, like, the cry in the moment feels great. Go ahead, cry it out. But I feel like sometimes you're at that point where like you need to talk about it and like you need to say something, but you just can't because it's so bottled up. However you do it, just let your thoughts out. 12, get into routine. This is something I definitely also need to do myself. I wish I had better routine. I feel like if I have routine, I have better structure, and having better structure makes me feel so much better about my life. I wish I had a better routine, but my days aren't always like the same enough for me to have a routine. Like I said, what I would usually have a routine tomorrow is going to be so different because I'm not actually off tomorrow like I normally would be. I'm usually off on Mondays and I'm working. I'm working an 8-hour shift that I don't normally work, and that's going to throw off my routine so bad. Like, you know, when you have those days where like some little thing switches it and you like can't remember what day it is, you think it's like, I'm going to think tomorrow's Tuesday all day because I don't know. I don't usually work. So being at work, I'm not thinking that it's Monday. I'm going to think that it's a whole separate day. So it's just going to throw off like my flow. But if you can get into as close as a routine that you can have throughout your week, I'm telling you, it'll give you better structure, and it makes you, I don't know, it can definitely make you more productive because you know when you have to do something at certain times during the day, like different situations, like, oh, in the morning I do this and this, and this is how I start my day. Every day you're going to start to feel better, like you're going to know what you have to do, and certain things you're like, oh, I wish I did that. I think they say it takes like 7 days. Is that too soon? Is that too short? I forget. There's a time they tell you where if you do things like X amount of times or days or whatever, it starts to become a routine. I definitely need to look that up because I kind of need to know myself so I can get myself into a routine. But yeah, get yourself into a routine, get structure for your day. I'm sure you'll get a lot more done knowing what times you have free to maybe like squeeze in a little more things. I can't wait for that because that'll make my life so much easier. Number 13 is a kind of deep one. You are not alone. This is such, oh my God, I feel like this is such one of the biggest, I just hit the mic. This is one of the biggest things in the world. Like, people feel alone. People feel there's not anyone there that actually wants to listen to them, that actually wants to hear what they're going through, hear what they have to say. I don't know. I can tell you, I've definitely had these moments. It just hits really hard sometimes. You feel like there's no one that wants to listen. You feel like such a burden trying to explain either what you're going through or even back to those letting your thoughts out. You don't know who to talk to because you don't know who will understand, who will kind of just talk to like be nosy, but also talk to like, I don't know, just to hear something, to go spread something. You have to kind of be careful on who you're talking to know who's actually there to trust and be there for you and who's actually just kind of being nosy and wants to know like every little detail about your life. But there is someone out there. There is someone out there that will listen to you, that will be there for you, that wants to be there for you, that wants to help in any way they can. Sometimes you kind of just have to actually tell them how they can help. A lot of people will want to but not really know how, and that's why to other people it seems like they have no one. You have to tell someone how they can help you, but you're not alone. You are not alone. You're 100% not alone. There's one person. Sometimes that's all it takes, but there is one person out there that wants to be there for you and wants to help you in whatever you're going through. Number 14, you don't have to do everything yourself. I know Julian gets on me about this all the time, like literally all the time. I feel, okay, it's weird because I know in the back of my mind, like I know dang well I cannot do anything almost by myself. I know dang well I cannot take on the world. I cannot. But for some reason, in certain situations, I feel like I feel like I have to, or I can, or I will. And then I get to the point where I'm like really stuck and really like deep in a hole about something. And I have to go to Julian and be like, I need help. I need this. I need that. And it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I need this. This was due 2 days ago. This was due a week ago. This I was supposed to have like a month ago. And I thought I could do it, but I can't. And now you're coming to them really late. And it's just, it throws everyone off. It goes back to, you're not alone. There's someone there to be with you, to help you in any stage of any point in life. You don't have to do everything by yourself. Whether you think you're that strong, independent woman, I don't know. There's something out there that like you know that you can't do, but you're going to try to challenge yourself. Just know that you don't have to do everything by yourself. It's not wrong and it's not bad to ask for help or to ask someone to either do something with you, for you. I don't know. Number 15. I kind of already touched on this. It's okay to shut down / cry. I have these moments all the time, especially the cry part, I feel. Like I said, I have a lot of emotions sometimes that I feel like I know in the back of my mind. I'm like, I should go and journal. I should go and do blah, blah, blah to try to get some of this out. And I don't. And then here comes that good cry sesh. And I know sometimes it feels really good. And like, I'm not saying you shouldn't cry, but I don't know. Just sometimes a lot of people feel weak in the moment. And they're like, why am I crying? Blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people that are like, men shouldn't cry. Everyone has emotions, and everyone has emotions that they need to just get out sometimes to make them feel better. And if that's what they have to do, that's what they have to do. I feel like you shouldn't feel shame and like shutting down crying. Everyone always needs like that moment to get their life back on track, to get themselves together, to talk to themselves through whatever they're going through. Like, okay, say you don't want to journal, but you're going to sit here and like deep dive talk within yourself. If that's what you got to do, I don't know. I just think it's what you got to do. Number 16. It's okay to admit when you're wrong. I feel like a part of me hates this. I don't know why. I feel like sometimes I'll be the first to admit that I was wrong and that what I said was wrong, and the advice or something someone tried to give me is what I should have done, what I could have done. I don't know. Sometimes I'm so back and forth with this. I feel like I'm more so one way than the other. And I'm not like ashamed to say I'm wrong. Sometimes I just don't like saying it because part of me still feels like I'm right. But if you get to that point, it is okay to admit you're wrong. Not everyone is right in life. That one person might be right in that moment, but they're not right with everything. No one is right about everything in life. So don't be ashamed to say that you're wrong, because whoever told you that one thing that they were right about, I guarantee you, maybe one of the next couple things they say is going to be wrong. And it's okay. It's okay. Everyone's going to have their moment. Someone's going to be wrong at one point in life. It is what it is. Number 17, try someone's advice to see if it works. What I mean by this is a lot of people are going to tell you kind of not how to go through life, but maybe how to go through like certain situations. They see that you're struggling with something, you're struggling through something, and they're like, hey, this isn't really going well for you. Maybe you should try this. Or have you tried blah, blah, blah. And I mean, me being me, I'm one of those people that are going to kind of brush things off being like, no, that won't work. Or no, I don't want to do that. Like, I can't do that. I would say I have to kind of do more of this myself. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, you have to do this. I'm going to say you should. I'm kind of talking to myself here at this one too. I feel you should try someone else's advice at least once to see, maybe because you are stuck in a XYZ situation that you're not realizing that you need help to get through what you're going through. So try what someone's telling you to see if it can help you. You might not know you need it. You might be very thankful afterwards that they told you that and that they were there to help you in this circumstance. I feel like there's definitely been situations where I didn't know either this way even existed. I could have been doing it all along. I'm glad they told me. Or, yeah, opposite. Okay, you tried it. It doesn't work. You can at least say you tried. If you're still struggling in a situation and someone's like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And you'll be like, okay, well, I tried this, or this, and it didn't work. I still don't know what to do. I'm still struggling. I'm going to go back to my way. It was working a little bit, but you thought you would just give it a chance. You can at least say you've tried to help yourself. Number 18 should have been higher up on the list. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. Trust your gut instincts. Trust your gut. I'm telling you, those weird feelings that you get sometimes, you might not like it. You might not like the outcome. Dig into it. Do your research. Do what you got to do to almost, I don't know, satisfy whatever's going on with you. Trust your gut. If something is not feeling right, do something about it. Look into it. Try to do your research, trying to figure it out. I don't know. It might be a complete opposite. You might be really happy that it wasn't what you thought it was. Or you might get really upset and sad. I just said sad. Oh my God. Upset, sad, mad, angry, let down. I don't know. There's so many emotions that can go with the other side of this. But at least you'll be able to tell yourself either that you are right or that you are wrong. And you'll have to figure out what to do from there. But don't ignore it. Don't ignore that weird feeling you're getting about something, a little weird going on, or I don't know. Trust your gut instincts. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but I'm telling you, most of the time it's something. So just trust it. Trust it. Number 19 is kind of a personal thing, but utilize your notes app. Honestly, I am using this podcast. I'm doing this podcast episode, reading the list of things I wrote in my notes app. If you know me, every time I do a podcast episode, I usually have a notebook with me because I like to write things out. I haven't been in a notebook. That sounded really aggressive. I'm so sorry. I haven't been in a notebook to write out this episode yet, but I loved the idea so much that I kind of just went straight to my notes app, put the title up, and started listing things. I don't know. Honestly, we're in my notes app right now. Let's go into it. I have this. I have passwords in here. I could probably be in trouble if I lose my phone and someone gets into it. Passwords for almost everything are in my notes app. I have captions for a picture if I want to post a picture and I have trouble coming up with a caption. I have a list of possible captions that could work. Have I used them yet? No. If I see someone that posts a really good caption too, I'll kind of write it down because I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I can use that in the future. I have like the merch ideas of when I was trying to create merch. I have like all the info for the merch launch in a different notes. I have grocery lists. I have YouTube ideas. When I went to my cousin's wedding, she wanted me to do a speech. I have this speech in my notes app. Like, I don't know, like if I don't carry a notebook on me 24/7, I probably should. That'd be really cool. But I don't carry one. So when I have to write something down, because if you know me, my memory is the size of a peanut. So I forget literally everything. I have to write it down. So at least I know that if I'm like, oh my God, I know I put that somewhere. Or, oh my God, did I write it down? I knew I was going to forget. So I probably did. Straight to my notes app. I'll say 7 times out of 10. It's right there. And it's low-key like a blessing in disguise because I knew myself in the moment and I knew I was going to forget and need to go back to it at some point. And I had it. What number are we on? Number 21. No, number 20. I can't even count. It is what it is a fair statement. I don't know why I always loved this saying, it is what it is, because sometimes like that's just the vibe. There's some things where you hate the thought of going through it. You hate the thought of it happening. Sometimes there's things that happen where you literally can't, like you hate it, but you cannot do anything about it. It's over with. It's done with. It's really just, it is what it is. Like in that moment, what are you supposed to do? There's really not much you can do. It might be the worst feeling ever in the worst situation ever. And I'm sorry, like if this is like a bad situation to say it in, but like it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. You kind of just have to let it go. It's going to ride its ride for whatever it has left. I don't even know if that made sense, but it is what it is sometimes. I feel like there's no other way to say it. Like I'm sorry, that might upset a lot of people. I feel like Julian being one of them, he hates that saying. Sometimes I'll be like, it is what it is, and he'll be like, you can't say that. No, sometimes it is what it is. Number 21, we're almost through with this list. That's crazy. Number 21 is think of the brighter side of things. I know sometimes I have to kind of do this myself when you're in like an like an uncomfortable almost situation, an upsetting situation. Something's not going to go right, or you just have to think of the opposite side of that. You have to think of the brighter things, and you have to think of, what if this happens? What if this goes really well? Like, what is the outcome that can come from this? Because I guarantee you sometimes when you think of the brighter side of things, you get more into it. You're giving out good vibes, like positive vibes, positive energy. And sometimes that can help something do a complete 180, if not even like a 360, and turn whatever's going on around and become such a great moment, such a great whatever is happening. And it's all because you literally thought of the brighter sides. You thought of the good side. You thought of, just something that gave off, like you almost like manifested it. You almost thought it into existence, the good side of it. And it'll make you feel so good at the end. Number 22 is don't take too much from other people to heart. What I mean by this is a lot of people will have their say in things. And I know, me being me, I take a lot personally. I take a lot to heart. So if I like listen to someone who is just saying their take on it, I'll take it really personally and to heart, and I'll get like really upset and really almost like offended over something, when really you kind of don't have to listen to them or listen to what they're saying at all, because they don't have any say or take into the situation of whatever's happening. So don't take things very personally if they're not from the right people. I guess I want to say, if you're taking things personally, they almost have to be from, someone close to you or who is going to help you. If it's just someone, I want to say random, but not random. You just have to know who you're talking to and who you're listening to, and kind of decide whether or not you need to take what they're saying to heart, or if you can kind of just, okay, yeah, and kind of just brush it off, because they're really not helping you. They're just kind of giving their take, which is something you don't really need in every situation. Number 23 is it's okay to start over. It's okay. You graduated high school 5 years ago. Oh, everyone that you went to school with has now graduated. You haven't gone to school. It's okay to start over. It's okay to go to college late. It's okay to flip your life around. And maybe you were putting off what you wanted to do because you were ashamed. People were judging you, like I said before, with the whole, what was it? Oh, the follow your dream part. It is now time to follow your dream. Turn your life around and do whatever you want to do. It's okay to start over in life. It's okay to start over in relationships, in friendships, in literally anything. You can have that deep talk with yourself and realize this is what you want to do, or this is where you want to be. Start over and do what you've been wanting to do. Like, life's too short to not be doing what you want to do, or not to be where you want to be in life. Number 24 should also probably be something that's higher up on this list, but it's be authentic all the time. Be your 100% you, no matter who you're with, who you're hanging out with, what you're doing. Be your 100% authentic self. That's really all there is to say about it. Just be you, be you. Just be you. Number 25. Be okay with failure. You kind of have to be okay with failure to go through life, because not everything you're gonna do is gonna work out either in your favor or honestly at all. And it's okay. Like, it's okay to fail. A lot of failure teaches you a lot of lessons, but you kind of have to pay attention to what failed in situations to know, like, kind of what lesson you're learning. But I don't know. It's important to kind of be okay with failure. I know I have to kind of say that to myself a lot too, but not everything is gonna happen almost the way it should happen, but you kind of have to be okay with it. You have to be okay with failure. We're down to the last one, 26. Not knowing everything going on is probably for the better. Let me explain this one. I feel like I turn into such a nosy Nelly sometimes that I feel like I almost have to know everything that's going on at every moment. And when I don't know, if I don't know something that's going on, I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I need to know. I feel if I don't know, then something's, I don't know, being hidden, I don't know what it is, but sometimes it's better that you don't know everything that's going on, because most of the time it's really not benefiting you, but it's also not hurting you. Like, not knowing is okay. Like, you don't need to be involved. It's not your situation to be involved in. You're just kind of there to be the nosy Nelly, which is usually me half the time. I know I get a lot of like FOMO too, like the fear of missing out on whatever is happening. But like I said, sometimes it doesn't involve me. It's totally fine. I don't need to sit there and know everything. And I kind of have to remind myself to be okay with that it's okay. It's not needed. It's for the better. With that being said, that is 26 things I've learned by the age of 26. Like I said, some of these you're gonna hear me and be like, yes, agreed. Some of these you might be like, yeah, that's a good one. And some of these you probably heard and were like, what? But those are my things. Those are my lists. Honestly, because I did this type of episode, I didn't know a question of the week. I thought going from this and asking a random question kind of would kill the vibe of the episode. So I don't have a question of the week this week. I'm so sorry. But with that being said, that is the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed my little talk, my list of things. Let me know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube what your favorite thing was. Just give me a number. If you're listening, give me a number. I'll go back and probably search it because I'm going to forget what was that number. If you're listening on any platform, give this a 5-star review. Please, please, please. I promise it's not this crazy all the time. And usually I have a partner with me, so you don't have to listen to just me talk for an hour long. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I'll be back next week with Julian. I honestly can't make any promises anymore. We have very crazy schedules. We don't usually coincide sometimes. So you are going to get these solo episodes just because I do want to put episodes out for you guys. I'm hoping you're liking them as much as we love making them. But we'll see you next week. Bye.